The second rehearsal of the day was Norway, Tix Fallen Angel. He took the stage, and boy, do we have thoughts. Or don't we? Anyway, let's talk this through. Let's talk Eurovision. What's up? Matt, ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel. And
Boris.
Exactly. And we're here to take it apart. And yes, we all know what Tix has done in the past in the national final, MGP and his staging. There he was himself with his 6 angels, but that's 7 people. We cannot have 7 people on stage at Eurovision. Mm-hmm. So he cut it down to 4. So therefore a total of 5 people on stage. So think, at least that's my explanation, agree to disagree, but it seems as the national final of MGP translated into the big Eurovision stage. So taking advantage of all the features and tools that they have, polished some of the things that they couldn't do maybe on the smaller stage with not quite as elaborate technology, and make it work. What do you think?
I actually watched the two side by side because I had anticipated that Norway would be doing more or less the same, because of course he won Norway, I think, with an absolutely overwhelming number of votes. He beat out Kaino. That is no small feat.
Oh.
So why would you make changes? So I anticipated that, watched them side by side, and effectively he does more or less equally the same. Now, I've never been a huge fan of Fallen Angel myself. I think it's okay now, but I was a little bit sore after he won because I'm a pretty.
I know you were.
I'm a very sore loser, actually. So, but I'm okay with it now. But I think in terms of the changes he made like changes to the lighting. He made changes to the camera angles. I think the conflict between himself and the demons is actually put forward a little bit better than normal. I think the weak part of the performance can be seen as 2 things. So the first thing is that it's not that different from what we saw in the national finals. So for people who are already familiar with that performance, there are no new elements, no important new elements. So in that case, if you're a fan of Tix, you're going to still be a fan of Tix. But if you're not a fan of Tix, it's unlikely he's going to win you over with that.
Yeah.
The second bit is the vocals, because he didn't sound always in tune the entire time. I think that's, and especially coming after Alina Zagrinu, who gave a very impressive vocal performance, that might be a little bit underwhelming.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree with some of the things that you're saying, in particular the staging. It is, and I say I don't think the idea is for Eurovision to cater to the small Eurovision bubble who watch the national final. They're trying to bring it to the big stage. They haven't seen it yet to most of Europe. So they just think, okay, what is it that didn't work or that we could change from the national final? And you got it right, where they made him interact the Dark Angels with him more. You can see the battle as they kind of go around him rather than just jumping off the podium, going back on. They're actually going around him and doing stuff. Not like it's dramatic, but they just add a little bit more. It feels more fluid and natural to me, and it delivers the message a whole lot better. I didn't even pay attention to the vocals a whole lot. To the vocals, I didn't really catch that too much, because there's also a lot of the backtrack, the vocals, so they're pretty loud as well in this one. I liked the lighting that they used. It had a really dark blue, and it has all these light tunnels that go right into the audience, and then it reflects, and then later on it turns all yellowy, golden, and white, and the last chorus, and then we got smoke on the ground, and we got pyros. So there is a lot going on there that makes it look, visually, I thought it was very, very appealing.
I can only concur with that. I think the colors are actually lovely, really nice. A really nice shade of blue, like sky blue, and then he transitions into like a pale gold. But that's a color scheme we've actually seen before, because I think I've written down pale gold in several entries now. So he's like the 3rd or the 4th person who's doing that. But in terms of just the colors and the backdrop, it actually looks really nice, which is absolutely something they needed to do, because I thought the staging in Melodi Grand Prix was a little bit too dark, literally too dark.
It's very interesting that you point that out, because at first I was like, wow, those Dark Angels, they're really in the dark. You can barely see them at some point, but that is deliberate, because that's part of the story. And then when the lighting comes up, that's when they become more visible. They're more like in the background, just hiding. And then when the chorus kicks in or later on, that's when they come out. So I thought that was very effective. So that makes perfect sense now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in terms of what should Tix and the team focus on for the second rehearsal, I think you mentioned vocals. That was the biggest thing for you?
Yeah, we have to really make sure that he sings in tune. Of course, I think he performed like 4 times in a row. of which we've seen only the last 3 performances. So of course he's bound to get hoarse on like the 3rd and 4th performance. But he needs to be. I think he needs to save his voice a little bit, because if he sings a wrong note, it can sort of disrupt the magic of his entry. My biggest issue with the act, personally, has always been the fact that when he ends, he casts off the angels, but they don't break the chains. So at the end of the song, he's still shackled down by his inner demons, even though the demons themselves are gone. I understand why they are doing this, because the chains and the sunglasses, they represent his own personal struggles with his disabilities. And of course the disabilities will not go away by themselves. But I think if you make the chains break, I think you achieve a much stronger effect, because he comes off as more powerful. In this case, I think you can take a few artistic liberties here, and I think that's going to pay dividends.
That is a very interesting observation. I can see where you're coming from, because I did like the part. I think they were still in chains at that point, but when they're going around him, you didn't really see the chains much. So I thought, oh, he broke free. But then we realized they were not. So it is actually probably, and it felt good that the chains weren't there. I was like, oh, okay, that was nice. So I can see where this could work. So I'll just echo what you said. Vocally, I didn't really pay attention too much, because I tried to absorb all that stuff, and it didn't stand out as bad to me. So it wasn't like horrible, for sure, but I'll pay more attention in the second rehearsal and see how he sounded. Because again, the backtrack is really loud on this one, the chorus at least. So those were our observations, but I think overall it was very good. If that's what you were hoping for, I think you should be satisfied. It's an approved version of the national final. I cannot wait for you to see it. For now, go to the YouTube page of Eurovision. They'll give you a short snippet. It will not tell the whole story, but at least it gives you a little tiny taste of it. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section, and we'll be back soon with the next video. We gotta go.